G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool, super helpful repair video from the Goat Shed located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. Today is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. It's 11 degrees Celsius outside, which is 51.8 degrees Fahrenheit. I suppose it'd be easier to say 52 degrees. Today we present to you Williams OXO. Now there's a bit of a story to this particular one, which I'm going to get Graham to tell you in a moment. But OXO was made in 1973, in the September actually. It's model number 420. There were 7,053 of these made by Williams. The designer was the effervescent Norm Clark, with the artwork by Christian March. These were sold to the distributor at $710. Now, I know this because the Internet Pinball Database tells us so. When you think about that, that's quite incredible, isn't it, back in 73? The machine produced prior to this was Williams Jubilee, and the one after was Tramway. However, Tramway did not go into production. It was given a model number, and they were going to make originally 98 of them, but they abandoned the project. So the next machine made was Star Action. Star Action. Now, the story to this is that when I first came and met Graham, he was doing a couple of machines. One of them was the Gottlieb fashion show, which we've spoken about, and we've never showed you a video of that because we didn't have YouTube then. And this game. So I sort of helped him finish this off a bit. He was actually painting the cabinet, and this is in the very, very early days. So this is about 11 years ago almost now. And he was going to keep the game, but he didn't. He needed the cash, so he sold it. So a lot of work went into this. It had a new back glass put into it, and I'll show you that in a moment. And a lot of mechanical work went into it. So what happened was we sold it to a chap not that far from here, because Graham advertised it, and this guy jumped on it almost straight away. And it turned out that it was his favourite game when he was a kid, you know, which is what pinball's all about, you know, getting to play your favourite game. Anyhow, he contacted Graham, came down and saw it, fell in love with it and bought it. And in those days, we actually even delivered it to him. And then several years later, he called up and said he was moving house. Would we move it for him to his other house? He didn't want to risk damaging it, etc. And we said yes. Anyway, earlier this year, we got a phone call from the guy's brother, who now possessed the machine, because sadly the fellow that Graham sold it to died. Yeah, he had cancer, and he died sometime, I think it was last year, or even the year before. Anyway, the story is the game wasn't resetting, it wasn't going. Now, because we knew the machine, we decided that we would go and have a look at it. We normally will not do that, but we knew the machine wasn't that far away, and we went and looked. So we've already done, and that was in about April or May this year. So here it is, August. We had a look at it, and we found the problem in the reset. The ball count unit and the coin unit on the motorboard weren't resetting properly. So we didn't want to be pulling step units apart there and then, so we got the guy to agree to bring it down to us, and he just delivered this to us yesterday. Now, at the time Graham did this, he bought a new back glass from Big Resto, and this is it up here. We'll just take you up and show you that. And what else happened with this game, Graham?
Oh, a lot happened with this game. I remember seeing this game first, roughly 15, 16 years ago, in Perth. I was over in Perth for a holiday, of course in Western Australia, and a friend contacted me that there's a guy that was local to where I was staying that he had 40 odd pinball machines, and most of them were EMs. So I rang him up and he offered for me to come out and have a look at them. And so I did, and he was in an automatic transmission mechanics property, so that's where he worked, that was his job. And he had them all in the loft. And I went up there, I didn't know what to expect, and then I seen this OXO, and it was painted in flat black. The whole cabinet was painted flat black. The back glass was an earshot. The Playfield wasn't real good. And the machine was basically a wreck, and I didn't think a great deal of it. And not only that, the expenses to get it back from Perth to Newcastle would have been horrendous back then. And so I didn't worry about it too much. And then going back about 11 years ago, as Kim said, a friend of mine, he ended up buying a lot of machines from a place in Victoria. He bought about 50 odd machines, and 20 of them would have been EMs. And I went and had a look at them. No, he had them local, and I said, that OXO's from Perth. And he said, no, I got it from Victoria. And I said, no, I seen it at Perth. He said, well, it could have been, but he wasn't sure. So I said, that's the same one, because it just looked the same. You know, the house like flat black on the cabinet and everything. And so what happened was that I was doing a lot of machines for him, a lot of repairing. I was doing average about one machine every 2 to 3 weeks. He just kept bringing them, like he had 20 odd EMs, and I just kept fixing them. And it was good, you know. I wasn't charging him a great deal because he's the mate, and you know. And then he got to the stage, he knew I liked OXO, and he said that if you fixed, you know, I think it was 2 machines, he would give me the OXO for nothing. And I thought, that's good, you know, good on him, even though it was a wreck. And I thought, because I'd been after this machine for so long, because I played it when I was a kid, when it was new, when it was a beautiful game. Very, very, very popular among everyone that used to play it. And so anyway, so I acquired it, and straight away, I didn't even try to fix it. I just stripped the whole thing down to nothing, and started restoring it. And the main thing that would worry me, because the back glass was absolutely shot, and it was so hard to get back glasses back then. And a friend of ours was getting back glasses brought in from America, and luckily enough, OXO was on the list, so I got an OXO back glass. Wasn't too expensive back then, because we bought about 4 or 5 in one go, back glasses. And so, I painted the machine, of course, which turned out fairly good, and actually it looks pretty good still. The main trouble I had was trying to match the pink. The pink was, I had to mix it myself. That's how bad it was, and I think I got as close as I could possibly get. And what happened was, the cabinet, as I said, the cabinet was flat black, and I sanded it back the best I could, and got a stencil of each square with a circle or a cross. And you can see that a lot of them are very similar, so you just sort of like turn them around or whatever. And so I've done it that way, and the stripes, as you know, the stripes are very easy to do. And it turned out really nice, so I clear coated it with, it looks like it was satin, because I know if I'd done it in clear, like a gloss, it would have been yellow by now. It looks just like, you know, like I'd done it yesterday. There's a few little blemishes on it, which is expected for, 11 years ago. And then I had a lot of trouble with the Playfield, because the Playfield wasn't real good, and it had mylar on it. To start with, it was all lifting up everywhere. And I had no other choice but to take the mylar off, because it was just so bad, the ball was getting stuck on the Playfield. And so I took it off the best I could, and a little bit of paint did come off with it, but not a great deal. I did some touch-ups, but it's not great. Like nowadays, I would do a different job, and maybe even try to get a Playfield made. So anyway, I had it all going, it was perfect. I took it to Pinfest that year, everyone loved it. And then, as Kim was saying, what happened was with the guy, like some guy contacted Marco Rossignoli, who wrote the books with me, the author. And this guy was really after an OXO, and I finished it, and I played it, and I loved it. but I just had to sell it because I needed the money for other projects, and plus I needed the room as well. So unfortunately, the guy come down, looked at it, said he just absolutely fell in love with it. He played it when he was a kid, just like I did, and I had my fun with it. So I thought, you know, good on him, and he ended up buying it, and didn't hear from him for years and years and years. So I didn't miss a beat, and until pretty well we heard he had wanted to shift it, and then we went up to his place to shift the machine from, it was only about probably 10 kilometres from where it was. And when we got to his new place, he actually had a sit-down cocktail video cabinet that was painted up like an OXO pinball machine, so I could see how much he loved it, and he raved about it. And so anyway, that was the last time we saw him. From then, we fixed, you know, we just done a couple of little things on the machine. I think one of the score wheels was sticking a little bit, so we repaired that. And as Kim mentioned, we didn't hear nothing about it until his brother called us and said that he unfortunately passed away. And we went up to have a quick look at it, and it was still looked as good as it ever did. So here it is back. They all come back eventually, and like it has got brand new legs, but we've got our wheelie legs on it for moving around in the shed. It looks, you know, a lot better with the proper legs on it. And back then we buffed up the front door and everything, took it all off, which still looks reasonably okay, but it could do with another going over. Because you've got to remember, like back then, it was hard to get things, but I managed to get the best things I could. I got lane guides, and they probably had the lane guides already, but I didn't get plastics. A couple of them have got a slight chip in them, and they're very, very faded. They could really do with new plastics. And where the grid is on the Playfield, the pink grid, that's faded really bad too. Like I'm pretty sure you can get replacements of them now, which if I was the owner, I would be doing, because the grid is a major feature of the game, and you want that looking as good as you can. So basically all it needs, the new grid, new plastics, and just a general clean up. And of course we're going to be getting right into the machine. As Kim said, just a few steppers are sticking, but we're going to go right through the whole game to make sure it works 100%, right down to the last light globe. And so I'm looking forward to playing this again. It's funny because this machine, OXO, and Klondike, were two of my favourite machines, and I got them both in the shed now at the same time. So how can you beat that? Even Spanky's excited.
Yeah, okay, well, I think what we'll do now is we'll get the motorboard out of this and set it up on the bench, and we'll show the viewers what's going on with it.
We know already 2 steppers to see, so we know that we've got to do that. But,
we do know that.
But there's going to be other surprises as well we can be sure of.
Okay, let's get busy. So here we have the motorboard removed out of the game, and we have these 2 steppers here. We have the first one here, which is the coin unit, and the one over the back, which is the ball count unit. Now both those steppers aren't functioning properly. We're going to have to strip them down and overhaul them. Main problem with this one is the ball count unit is this pawl here, the drive pawl, it's sticking. See how slow it is to fall back? We've done videos on these before, so we're not going to video the repair process on this. We're just going to do it. So if you want to have a look back, we just done a Williams ball count unit maybe 5-6 videos ago, if you're interested to see it. Coin unit's exactly the same. The only difference is this is the famous unit where that switch often gets on the wrong side. That's on the right side now because the peg at 4th player opens up and cuts power to the coil. They often get on top, which is wrong. So we'll pull that apart. I can sort of see a few other problems with that. This isn't, the reset's sticking a little bit in there. Just pull it all apart and clean it all up and fix it up. Hopefully we won't have to do much else on the game. We have found a switch on the score motor, just here, which is bent. Oh, whoops, wrong one, that one. I think you can see that, can't you? That's all bent up in the air. So we've got to fix that. So visually you can often see things, remember that's important. But all the other relays, like as far as we know, the game was working okay, like the guy said, and it just sort of stopped. Well, you can kind of see why now. And I think what happened, it hadn't been used for a good few years. everything just gums up. It's important to keep using the damn things. Once we get it all back together, we'll definitely show you what's happened with it and do any further troubleshooting on it. It's just interesting to revisit this machine after all these years. You know, Graham done a great job matching that pink colour and painting the cabinet. He did all that by hand. No stencils around those, I don't believe, in those days. And they were lucky to get a back glass. And I'd say now you'll be able to get the plastics somewhere, so we'll have a we'll look into that. All right, away we go. Righto, so we've had both the ball count unit, the one toward the rear, and the coin unit, the one at the front, out and serviced them. Now, they were both sticking very badly. So now, hopefully, they're in good condition. While we had the motorboard on the bench, we just had a quick look at the relays. We found a few bits of insulation tape had been put on at some stage, and we've put heat shrink over that just to tidy that up a little bit. And we've now got the Playfield up in the air because we wanted to have a look at the bonus unit, which I'm just bringing into shot now. We did a bit of a test and we found the ball drained and it didn't kick out. So our suspect was the switch on the other side here, up here. I think I can just get that into view. At the home position switch has to be closed to eject the ball, complete that circuit. So that should be okay. Now these are a really, really, really big Playfield. I mean, massive. Look at the trip bank itself.
It's huge.
It's absolutely huge. It's such a heavy machine. Now, these have this is the reset bar here. Now, way back when this was done, we had this problem where, I think what it was, Graham, about the extra ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you got an extra ball, that top reel up there would trip, of course. That's your 3 in line, which gives you an extra ball. And what would happen is that when it would go down and kick the ball out again, like the trip bank is supposed to reset, but it would reset, but that last relay wouldn't reset. And the reason why it wouldn't reset is because it didn't have enough stroke on it to get it up, to get the relay back into position. And back in the day, I didn't have many parts to do too much about it because these banks are massive. And so I just done the next best thing and done what you might call a hack, but it was a very good one and it worked.
So I'm going to illustrate that. Can you see that the nut and bolt on the top armature plate? That's the hack. So we put a nut and bolt through there so that the reset bar
would have more upstroke.
Would be able to hit it earlier and keep it closed. It was just the inertia of the thing they're just huge.
It's because it was the last one on the list.
Yeah.
By the time I got up there, it had nothing left.
Yeah. So they've got that dirty big coil. Now bear in mind too, that coil, and it actually says on it, that's a 110 volt coil.
Yeah, so be careful of that.
So be careful with those if you ever see on a Williams red coils. All right, now we'll put the Playfield down and we'll show you the back glass and everything in and let you have a little look at the whole thing. All right, here we are. There's the back glass. Really nice. Stood the test of time. Over 10-year-old, 11-year-old.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we just had a look at the bonus unit and yeah, that switch was a little out. So that's when the bonus unit returns to 0 position, there's a switch there. And if that doesn't close properly, this applies to Williams, Gottlieb, Bally, your ball won't kick out. It's a very common problem. So, pretty much game's up and running again. I'm going to get Graham to run through the rule set with you.
Yep.
This is his favourite game, so he knows it sort of intimately.
So we're going to start a game, and hopefully it all comes back together. Right, now, OXO. As you can tell by the name, it's just like noughts and crosses. So we have this like a grid on the playfield, which a lot of Williams games had in the early 70s. A lot of them. Anyway, so and even in the late 60s, like there was I forget the names, but there were so many of them. Anyway, so the idea is, of course, we've got 6 lanes up top, right? And so you got X's and O's. So we'll run over this top left 0, which comes up on the graph. Okay, so you can get the next one. So if you've got the X, it would have had the X and that wouldn't have lit. So it cuts out power to the 0. So the idea is to get 3 X's or 3 noughts in a row. Anyway, diagonal, horizontal, whatever. Just like noughts and crosses. So we'll get the top 3 out. So once we got that, we got the 3 zeros here. They could be anywhere or an X, whatever. And so you light your extra ball holes, these kick out holes, which when the ball is in, will give you 5,000 points and a free ball. Indicated by the lit same place switch again there, and again on the back glass as well, which looks very colourful. And so that's one part of the grid situation. The other side of it is specials. So the idea is to get out the whole grid. Doesn't matter whether it's zeros or X's. It doesn't matter in that. And on each lane or plastic is indicated what does what. So if you hit this target here, it'll either give a nought or an X, and it depends on this grid here. And so down the bottom you got this little 2 lights, an X or an O, and they alternate. So if you hit the middle now, because that's on X, you'll get an X here, which we did. Okay, now the same goes for down here. So that rollover button would light this one here, an X. So we'll change it now back to nought on the graph. And so over here, we'll get a nought. Same here. Now we've only got these 2 to go, which are these 2 lanes here. Now we can change it back to X if we need to. It doesn't really matter because we've already got the free ball lit. We'll get that there and here, and that'll get out the whole grid, which will get specials for the sides. Now unfortunately at the moment the credit meter's not hooked up, which we are going to do. And when I was a kid we used to play this. The only thing that annoyed me is that I only went up to 8 games, and we used to give it a hiding. And the good thing about it is that you could get it up here and back down again, you'll get 2 free games.
Oh wow.
And it would stay lit the whole ball. But when you got it down the centre and the ball kicked out, of course you would lose your extra ball and you would lose special as well. Also, you could get the A and the B lit, which would open up the side gate. So it's another feature on it, which is good because, you know, it used to be a bit of a drain, and actually the owners put these little buds of blue tack by the looks of it there. So he must have had kids playing it or something that didn't want to lose it too often. and we don't know whether to move them or not, but
I think we will.
Yeah, maybe the
grandchildren are playing it.
Yeah, personally I think you shouldn't have that sort of thing for home use. Right now, that bumper lights there is not working.
Not working again, yeah. We just changed the globe in that.
We had trouble with that, so we'll like to check underneath in case something's off. Okay, so we'll go down the centre, and it will pay all these bonuses. Should be 9. The counts bonuses are really slow on this one. Right, now the gate goes off. As soon as you get a point, the extra ball same place, shoots again, goes off.
Now, at this juncture, this light just went out down here.
As well.
Now, that's what we mentioned before while we did that modification to the relay bank. That was what the problem was. The light wouldn't go out. It goes out as soon as you roll over the...
any top lanes.
Top lane, it'll keep coming back on.
Yeah. So we fixed that. That's all good. And apart from that, the only other thing on the machine is that you get a triple bonus on fifth ball, no matter what. But you can only get triple bonus on last ball. So that's a bit of a... Well, actually, it's a good paying game. So when I was a kid, like, I think the score was only in the probably 76 or something for a free game. So it wasn't that hard to get a game.
Yeah, right.
And we used to love this game. And as I said before, I've been looking for one forever, and I found one. But when I restored it, I got rid of it, as a lot of you listeners probably have as well. You probably hunted forever to get your favourite game. When you got it, you've restored it, and then by the time you restored it, you're looking on the other things. But it's good to have it back, so we're going to do our best to get it up to scratch.
We're going to re-rubber it now.
Yes,
that's one thing we're going to do.
Yes.
And as Graham mentioned, the story was when he got this game, it did not have a replay unit in it. From memory, is that correct?
Yeah, I put one in. The idea, I was putting one in, I was halfway through doing it, and then the guy really wanted to have it, and he didn't care whether it was hooked up or not. So I said, do you want me to do it? And he said, I don't really care. So I just let it go as it was, but as it is now, we'll do it now.
Yeah, well...
It's only probably an hour job at the most. But we might take the meter out, the credit meter out, just to have a look to make sure that it's stepping okay and coming back okay. And make sure nothing else is out of whack. But as you can see, it's a beautiful back glass. I bought this, as I already said, years ago, and it's stood the test of time really nice. So he must have had it in a nice shaded area without direct sunlight. And fortunately with this machine, the back glass, there's now no reds in it, so none of the reds can fade. And the pinks look as good as they did in the day that it was made. Beautiful.
All right.
Right, so we'll do a bit more work. We'll re-rubber it, and we might have a look at that credit meter.
Yeah, once we do that, we'll contact the guy and he can come and get it.
No, I'm going to play it for a while.
Oh, you're going to play it for a while?
Yeah.
Going to enjoy it?
Might put it next to Klondike.
Right.
And relive some memories.
Now, there's an interesting thing. Graham, when they were kids, worked out a way how to cheat on Klondike. Apparently it was you tell them.
Well, what it was, when Klondike was probably not one of the better ones, but the ones that you really want to do it on is bonus. Like this one was a classic example. We used to do it on this one all the time. On fifth ball, because you're getting triple bonus, what you would do, because in Australia we used to put 20-cent piece in instead of it, like in America it's a quarter. And we will get 2 or 3 games for 20 cents. And what we worked out is that when you put 20 cents in the game's counting down bonuses, or you can actually do it when the game's resetting, you would time it so that you put the 20 cents in, let it go at the top of the coin entrance at a certain time, usually when the bonuses stop paying. As soon as you're just about ready to pay the next lot of bonuses, you'll put the 20 cents in, and the game would actually clock up 5, 6, sometimes 7 credits instead of 2 or 3, which for a kid back then was wonderful. And once we get a machine doing that, we have showed it years ago. Marco and me done a video on it before the goat shed videos, a long time ago, and I think it was just on one of our sites. And we showed how to do it on a straight flush. And I think it worked pretty good.
Yeah, we can't show it in this one. It hasn't got coin mechs in, but Klondike has.
But Klondike, I'm going to put new coin switches in it and everything to make sure that it's going 100%. But when we get probably Klondike up and going, we can show you how to do that. It's a very different trick. A lot of people are amazed when you see it. But we've found over the years you can only do it on Williams games. You cannot do it on Gottlieb. You cannot do it on Bally. Only Williams.
Well, that's very interesting. So we'll illustrate that in the future.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, please consider subscribing to our channel. Give us a thumbs up for making this video for you. Spanky goes to a lot of trouble to do so.
Spanky's all excited today because it's lunch day.
Oh, yes, Thursday now.
Yes.
All right. Well, this has been another Goat Shed presentation.